We're moving from the first session where we talked about the treatment of melanoma and the role of clinical trials to the managing and living with melanoma. And in some ways the research would say we're moving from the hard evidence to some of the soft evidence, albeit that the soft is no less important than the hard evidence. And we're very fortunate to have a psychologist as our next speaker, Michele Watson, who works with the Melbourne City Mission Palliative Care and a specialist palliative care service. Michele also works in private practice, providing psychotherapy and counselling to people with cancer and their carers. She's worked in this area for the past 7 years and has an interest in teaching people to learn simple techniques to improve their well-being. Welcome, Michele.
Hello everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Melanoma Patients Australia for inviting me to speak today on what is such an important topic in the context of cancer care, and that is our mental health and our well-being. So I'm going to be speaking to you today about the potential impact of the accumulation of stress and distress and anxious worry that one can have when going through an experience of cancer. A diagnosis of cancer is a very stressful experience, and as we've heard this morning, it's full of uncertainty. And when there's uncertainty, there's anxiety and fear. Hearing the news creates anxious thoughts about our future. For family members, it raises awareness about cancer and also their concern. A diagnosis of melanoma, followed by treatment, including the highs and lows and the uncertainty, are all experienced alongside everyday demands, such as family life, parenting, meeting financial commitments, continuing to perform at work, and perhaps caring for elderly parents. So this goes on top of the life stress that's already there. So being diagnosed with melanoma could give you a lot to worry about. Everyone reacts differently. If you are the type of person who has always been a worrier, then you will continue to worry. We need to have resources in place if things start to go wrong. We may need to learn strategies that can help us to calm our anxious thoughts and help us to find some peace and reduce our suffering. Looking after our mental health and well-being means that we can enjoy our lives. So it's not just about extending life, it's also about enjoying it and quality of life. So how do we recognise the signs that things are going wrong? Sometimes difficult feelings such as shock, irritability, or sadness subside over a few weeks as we adjust and summon our internal and external resources and supports to cope with the challenges we are faced with. So what are the signs that the level of stress you are experiencing is affecting you mentally and your sense of well-being? If these difficult feelings persist, we need to pay attention. Persistent feelings of shock or disbelief, anger or irritability, feeling sad, down or miserable most of the time, or if anxious, worrying thoughts are keeping you awake at night or distracting you from your daily activities and reducing your concentration, say at work, you probably need some more support. Just some other things, the misuse of alcohol, drugs, or gambling. Any behaviour out of character for you is a sign that your level of stress is impacting. If feelings of distress are not attended to, you could go on to develop quite serious mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, or panic attacks. It is important that you seek professional help. Speak with your GP about referring you to a health professional, psychologist, who can talk with you about developing strategies to manage your stress. Or if you feel that you have good coping strategies already and you are managing the challenges you face, but would like to look more deeply at your life, you may want to explore what is important to you at this stage of your life, or identify what gives your life meaning and purpose, then psychotherapy can be an avenue for this. So let's look at some helpful resources. Sometimes our trusted coping strategies are not available to us when our health is compromised. For example, exercise. If exercise has been something that you've used to cope with everyday life stress, and if your health is compromised, you can't continue doing that for the time being, then you might need to look at something else. Some of the resources are talking to someone who listens to you and doesn't give advice or hijack the conversation. So find a good listener in your family or your community. Talk to others with melanoma. The MPA, as probably most of you are aware, offer monthly support groups and a peer support helpline. Access these. Make sure you regularly spend time in the garden or at your local nature reserve or park. Connect with others in your family, your faith or spiritual community. Draw, paint, or write in a journal your thoughts and feelings. You might think about accessing alternative therapies that assist with relaxation, such as massage, or find a group and learn to meditate. It's good to meditate in a group when you're first learning and you get great support from others. These are just some of the ways to reduce stress and improve our well-being. But we need to build these activities into our everyday lives. Looking after our mental health and well-being means that we are more able to enjoy our lives. Support for carers. Carers and family members need help too. They also experience a loss of normal life and the need to adapt to a new kind of normal. They can become so focused on the person they're caring for that they neglect their own needs. Carers may also be trying to maintain work and family life and can feel stressed, worried, or sad. It's important to seek help and talk to others. It can also be helpful to remember to eat well, exercise, have regular time out, and access support when needed. Carers Victoria is here today. I think they have a table at the expo, and there's lots of information they'll have there about support for carers. So I encourage you to visit them and see what they have to offer. So what is palliative care? Palliative care is specialist care that aims to improve quality of life through prevention and relief of symptoms of physical, psychological, and/or spiritual distress. An admission to a palliative care service might be short-term, while specific issues are addressed, or it might be longer-term for more complex and ongoing issues. A person may move in and out of palliative care as their circumstances change. Palliative care is not just for end-of-life care, and medical treatment may continue, including chemotherapy and radiotherapy, while you are receiving palliative care. Palliative care provides support and resources such as information and education for you and your carers about how to manage your illness and ongoing care. Support and help to make the decisions and personal adjustments that may accompany serious illness. Coordination of care and help with planning and resources. Help with advanced care planning. Links to hospitals, palliative care inpatient units, and community support agencies. Consultancy services to other health professionals, and access to a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week nursing paging service. Accessing palliative care is appropriate for anyone with advanced disease, experiencing challenging physical, emotional, or spiritual symptoms. It is not just for end-of-life care. The care is provided in the home by specialist palliative care doctors, nurses, and other health professionals such as psychologists, social workers, massage therapists, art therapists, and spiritual carers. And the service is free of charge. So who can you talk to about palliative care? You can talk to your general practitioner, your oncologist, or consult the National Palliative Care Service Directory to find a service that provides care in your area. And Palliative Care Victoria is also here today, so if you want any information, they'll have some there for you. Thank you.